I turned the key again, same result. The lock mechanism didn't even engage, these weren't my locks anymore. Through the bay window I'd had installed last spring, I could see my sister Nina hanging curtains in what used to be my bedroom. Floral curtains. I hated floral patterns. She knew that. I knocked on the door, my door. The one I'd refinished myself, stripping years of paint to reveal the original oak underneath. My mother answered, phone in hand, as if she'd been expecting this exact moment. "Oh, Jessica, good, you're here. We need to talk. Why won't my key work?" She smiled. The same smile she'd used when she told me at 16 that my college fund had been redirected to Nina's private school tuition. "We had the locks changed this morning. Professional locksmith. Very efficient. You changed the locks on my house. Well, that's what we need to discuss. Come to the porch, let's sit. I'd rather come inside." "To my house?" "Actually, that's not going to work anymore." She gestured to the wicker chairs I'd bought for the front porch. "Sit, sweetheart." I remained standing. Through the window, Nina was laughing on her phone, holding up paint samples against my bedroom wall. My father emerged from inside, carrying a box I recognized, my box of important documents from my home office closet. He set it on the porch without looking at me. "Jessica, your mother and I have made a decision," he said. "We've decided Nina needs this house more than you do." The words hung in the air like smoke. I let them settle before responding. "You've decided, that's right. Nina's getting married in 4 months. She and Brad need a place to start their life together. You're single, you have your career, you don't need all this space. I bought this house 2 years ago. With our blessing," Mom added quickly. "We co-signed your mortgage application, remember? We're practically co-owners." That was a lie. They'd offered to co-sign. I declined and qualified on my own with my salary from the hospital. But they'd been telling that story for so long they probably believed it. "Your names aren't on any documents," I said quietly. Dad waved a dismissive hand. "Technicalities. The point is we're family. What's yours is Nina's, what's Nina's is yours. That's how family works. Except Nina isn't giving me anything. Don't be petty." Mom's voice sharpened. "She's younger, she's starting out. You're 32, you're established. This is you helping your sister." I looked at the box of documents at my feet. Then at my parents. Then at Nina through the window, now FaceTiming someone, showing them around my house like it was hers. I pulled out my phone. "Who are you calling?" Mom asked. I didn't answer. The first call was to Detective Raymond Mills. I'd met him 8 months ago when my car was broken into in the hospital parking lot. He'd been thorough, kind, and had given me his card. "Any problems, you call me," he'd said. This seemed like a problem. He answered on the 3rd ring. "Detective Mills. Detective, this is Jessica Chun. We met last year, the car break-in at Metro Hospital." "I remember. What's wrong?" "I'm standing outside my house. My family changed the locks without my permission and won't let me inside. They're claiming they're giving my house to my sister." Silence. Then, "Your house, you own it?" "Fully. Deed in my name only." "I can provide documentation. Where are you?" I gave him the address. "I have documents in my car. Deed, mortgage statements, property tax records." "Don't go anywhere." "I'm 12 minutes out." The second call was to Linda Zhao, the real estate attorney who'd handled my house purchase. She'd been recommended by the hospital's legal department, sharp, experienced, no tolerance for nonsense. "Linda Zhao, Miss Zhao, this is Jessica Chun. You handled my house purchase on Maple Street 2 years ago. I remember, the Victorian with the original hardwood." "What's happened?" I explained in 3 sentences. "Are you—" She stopped, started again. "Are they still in the house?" "Yes. Don't leave, I'm coming now. Do not engage with them beyond what's necessary. And Jessica, yes? Start recording everything. Video, audio, whatever you can. This is going to get worse before it gets better." I hung up and immediately started a video recording. Phone pointed at the ground, but audio catching everything. My mother had been watching. "Really, Jessica? You called the police? On your own family? You broke into my house and changed my locks." "We didn't break in, we have keys." "You gave them to us when you moved in. Emergency keys. For emergencies." Dad laughed. "This is an emergency. Your sister needs housing. Then she can buy a house. Or rent an apartment? Like everyone else, Nina appeared at the door now, smile fading when she saw my expression. Jess, what's going on? Mom said you were okay with this. Mom lied. We didn't lie, Mom protested. We said we'd handle it. And we are, by stealing my house. Stealing? Dad's voice rose. How dare you? We raised you, fed you, clothed you. This house wouldn't exist without us. I'm a surgical nurse. I saved for 3 years. I qualified for my own mortgage. You didn't contribute a single dollar to this purchase. We contributed 18 years of raising you, Mom shouted. That's worth more than any down payment. I kept the phone recording, kept my face neutral, kept my voice level. That doesn't give you the right to steal my property. Nina's phone was out now, filming me. Everyone's going to see this, Jess. How you're treating Mom and Dad, how selfish you are. Good. Film everything. I am too. A police cruiser pulled up, then another. Detective Mills stepped out of an unmarked sedan, followed by 2 uniformed officers, Officer Tanya Reeves and Officer Miguel Santos. My parents' expressions shifted immediately. Mom's tears started. Dad's posture straightened into righteous indignation. Detective Mills approached with his badge out. Ma'am, I'm Detective Raymond Mills. You called about a break-in? An illegal lockout, I corrected. I own this property. My family changed the locks without permission and won't allow me inside. He turned to my parents. Are you the homeowners? We're her parents, Dad said. This is a family matter. That's not what I asked, sir. Do you own this property? Are your names on the deed? We helped her get this house. Names on the deed. Yes or no? Silence. Officer Reeves spoke up. Ma'am, do you have documentation of ownership? I walked to my car and retrieved the folder I kept in my glove compartment, copies of everything. Deed, mortgage statement, property tax bill with my name. Homeowner's insurance declaration. Officer Reeves reviewed each document carefully. These show Jessica Chun as sole owner. Purchased August 2023, no co-signers, no co-owners. Detective Mills turned to my parents. Did Miss Chun give you permission to change these locks? She gave us keys years ago. That's not permission to change locks. Did she give you written or verbal permission to change the locks on this property today? My mother's tears were flowing now. We're her family. We don't need permission. Tell them, Nina. Nina held up her phone, still recording. This is abuse. Elder abuse. She's threatening her own parents. Officer Santos, who looked about my age, spoke for the first time. Ma'am, your parents appear to be in their 50s. Elder abuse statutes apply to individuals 65 and older. And from what I'm seeing, they've committed breaking and entering, illegal eviction, and possibly grand theft depending on the property value. Linda Zhao's Lexus pulled up. She got out in a gray suit that probably cost more than my monthly mortgage, briefcase in hand. I'm Linda Zhao, Miss Chun's attorney. Detective Mills, officers, thank you for responding so quickly. She shook hands with each of them, then turned to my parents. Mr. and Mrs. Chun, I'm going to be very clear. You are currently committing multiple felonies. If you leave now, my client may choose not to press charges. If you remain, I will personally ensure you face the maximum penalty for each offense. You can't talk to us like that, Dad sputtered. We're her parents. And she's a property owner whose home you've illegally seized. Your relationship to her is irrelevant to the law. Mom grabbed my arm. I stepped back. Officer Reeves moved between us. Don't touch my client, Linda said sharply. I'm her mother. I can touch my own daughter. Not when she's clearly indicating she doesn't want to be touched. You can't. Nina was crying now too, standing in the doorway of my house like she belonged there. Brad and I already put down deposits. We told our landlord we're not renewing. What are we supposed to do? Find other housing, Linda said flatly. Like every other engaged couple in America. Detective Mills pulled out his notepad. Okay, folks, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take statements from everyone. Then we're going to determine if charges will be filed. Nina Chun, please step outside the residence. This is my house now. No, Officer Santos said patiently. It's Jessica Chun's house. The deed says so. You're currently trespassing. My parents gave it to me. Your parents don't own it. They can't give away property they don't own. It took 20 minutes to get Nina out of the house. She filmed everything, narrating about how cruel I was, how heartless, how I was ruining her wedding. Her fiancé Brad showed up halfway through, driving a U-Haul truck. He took one look at the police cars and turned around without stopping. Smart man. Linda walked through my house with Officer Reeves, documenting everything. Nina had already moved furniture into 3 rooms, hung pictures, removed my belongings to the basement. This is extensive, Officer Reeves noted, taking photos. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. This was planned. We found the locksmith receipt in the kitchen trash. $380 for emergency same-day service. Paid with my mother's credit card. We found Nina's wedding binder on my dining room table. A timeline showing move into new house, scheduled for today, 3 months before the wedding. We found text messages on Nina's phone sheet, left it on the counter discussing the plan with Brad. Mom says she handle. Jess, just start moving stuff in on Tuesday. Today was Tuesday. Detective Mills read through everything, his expression growing darker. Mr. and Mrs. Chun, I'm going to ask you one more time. Did you have permission to do any of this? My father's lawyer arrived before they could answer. Richard Porter, expensive suit, expensive shoes, expensive reputation for getting guilty people off. My clients won't be answering any questions without counsel present, Linda smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. Richard. I should have known. Linda. Still ambulance chasing? Still defending thieves? Detective Mills stepped between them. Counselors, please, Mr. and Mrs. Chun, you have the right to remain silent. However, your daughter has the right to access her property and the right to press charges. What's it going to be? Richard conferred with my parents in whispers. Nina stood apart, still filming, still crying. Finally, Richard spoke. My clients will vacate the property. However, they maintain they acted in good faith based on a misunderstanding about ownership rights within the family structure. There's no misunderstanding, Linda interrupted. The deed is clear, the property records are clear. Your clients committed premeditated burglary and attempted grand theft. The locksmith receipt proves planning. The text messages prove conspiracy. Richard's jaw tightened. Those text messages were obtained without consent. They were on a phone left in plain view in my client's house. No search warrant needed for abandoned property in plain sight. That phone belongs to Nina Chun. Who was trespassing in Jessica Chun's house? Any evidence of criminal activity discovered during a lawful investigation of a crime scene is admissible. I watched them argue legal points while my family stood in my front yard like criminals. Which, technically, they were. Officer Santos approached me quietly. Ma'am, do you want to press charges? I looked at my parents. My mother, still crying, now being comforted by Aunt Wei, who'd appeared from somewhere. My father, red-faced and furious, whispering intensely with Richard. Nina, phone still up, still filming, still playing victim for her social media. Yes, I said. All available charges. Officer Santos nodded and walked back to Detective Mills. The next hour was procedural, statements taken. Evidence photographed. The locksmith was called back to change the locks again, this time with only my permission, only my keys. My family was not arrested. Richard negotiated for them to surrender themselves the following day for booking. But charges were filed: criminal trespass, attempted grand theft, conspiracy to commit theft, illegal eviction. Linda stood next to me as they finally left. Nina's U-Haul had to be unloaded, all her furniture moved back out to the truck. She cried through the entire process. I hate you, she said as she carried the last box past me. I will always hate you for this. You broke into my house, Nina. You're supposed to love me, you're my sister. And you tried to steal from me. She had no response to that. Just more tears and a final video for her followers about toxic siblings and chosen family. After everyone left, I stood in my living room. My furniture was disheveled. My bedroom looked like a tornado had hit it. There were holes in the walls where Nina had hung her pictures. Linda put a hand on my shoulder. The hard part is just beginning. This wasn't the hard part. This was the crisis. Now comes the aftermath. The family pressure. The guilt trips. The flying monkeys relatives who will contact you on your parents' behalf. The social media smear campaign. You ready for that? Do I have a choice? You always have a choice. You can drop the charges. Forgive them. Let them back in. Hope it doesn't happen again. Will it happen again? What do you think? I looked around my house. My sanctuary. The place I'd worked 70-hour weeks to afford. The home I'd built for myself. I'm pressing charges, I said firmly. She smiled. Good. Now let's talk about the restraining order. The restraining order hearing was 2 weeks later. Judge Vivian Martinez presided, reading glasses perched on her nose as she reviewed the evidence. Richard Porter argued that this was a family misunderstanding blown out of proportion. That my parents had acted out of love for Nina, not malice toward me. That criminal charges were excessive for what amounted to a property dispute. Linda Zhao presented the locksmith receipt. The text messages. The timeline in Nina's wedding binder. Photos of my belongings dumped in the basement. A sworn statement from the locksmith that my mother had told him my daughter said to change these locks. Judge Martinez looked at my parents over her glasses. Did your daughter tell you to change the locks? Not in so many words, Mom began. Yes or no, but did you have any documentation giving you authority over this property? We're her parents. Yes or no, Mrs. Chun? No. Did you know this property was solely in your daughter's name? Silence. Mrs. Chun, did you know your daughter was the sole legal owner of this property? Yes, Mom whispered. And you proceeded anyway. We thought ... Family is not a legal defense to theft. Judge Martinez signed the restraining order. 500 feet from Ms. Chun's residence and workplace. No contact except through attorneys. This order remains in effect pending the outcome of the criminal trial. My mother fainted, or pretended to. The bailiff called for medical assistance anyway. The trial was set for 3 months later. In those 3 months, my life became a war zone. The family group chat exploded. 63 messages in the first hour, all calling me selfish, cruel, heartless. I was ruining Nina's wedding, destroying the family, choosing money over love. I left the group chat, blocked 47 numbers. My aunts and uncles called. Can't you just give Nina the house? You can buy another one. I don't want to buy another one. I want the one I already bought. But family is more important than houses. Then why is Nina taking my house instead of buying her own? They never had an answer for that. Nina's wedding went ahead as scheduled. I wasn't invited. According to social media, I decreated a fake account just to monitor she and Brad rented a small house across town. Her dress was beautiful. The venue was elegant. In every photo, she looked happy. There was a slideshow during the reception. Family We've Lost, it was titled. It included photos of dead grandparents and one photo of me. Subtitled, To Those Who Chose Material Possessions Over Love. Aunt Wei sent me the video. You should see what they're saying about you. I watched it once, deleted it. Blocked Aunt Wei. The trial lasted 4 days. The prosecution presented overwhelming evidence. The defense argued family expectations and cultural norms and misunderstandings. The jury deliberated for 3 hours, guilty on all counts. Sentencing was immediate. My parents had the option of prison time or a plea deal, 5 years probation. Full restitution including my legal fees, the new locks, repairs to my walls, and my therapy costs. 300 hours of community service each. And a formal public apology acknowledging they had committed crimes. They took the deal. The apology was posted on their Facebook pages, probably written by Richard Porter. It said all the right words: we acknowledge, we take responsibility, we were wrong. It didn't feel like them, it felt like damage control. The restitution came to $52,847.93. They paid it in installments over 8 months. Nina never apologized. Her social media became a shrine to surviving family trauma and setting boundaries with toxic siblings. She wrote blog posts about protecting your peace from people who do and understand unconditional love. The irony was lost on her. I changed jobs 6 months after the trial. Same hospital, different department. Too many people had opinions about that nurse who sent her parents to court. I went to therapy every week for a year. Dr. Sarah Kim specialized in family estrangement. Do you feel guilty? She asked in our 3rd session. Should I? That's not what I asked. I thought about it. No, I feel ... clear, like I finally stopped pretending things were okay when they weren't. That's healthy. It doesn't feel healthy. It feels lonely. Those aren't mutually exclusive. She was right. I made new friends, people from work who didn't know my family. A book club I joined. A running group that met Saturday mornings. None of them knew about the trial, about my parents. About Nina, they just knew me as Jessica. The person I was without all that weight. 1 year after the trial, my mother sent a letter through Richard Porter. She wanted to reconcile. She'd completed her community service. She'd been going to therapy. She understood now that what she'd done was wrong. She wanted her daughter back. I read the letter 3 times. Showed it to Dr. Kim. "What do you want to do?" she asked. "I want to believe her. I want to believe people can change. But I don't trust her. And I don't know if I ever will again. That's okay, is it?" Jessica, trust is earned. It's not a light switch you can flip back on just because someone says sorry. Especially when someone has violated your boundaries as severely as your family did. You're allowed to protect yourself. I kept the letter, didn't respond. 3 months later, Nina had a baby, a girl, Charlotte Rose. Aunt Wei sent me a photo. "Don't you want to meet your niece?" I looked at the photo. A beautiful baby, pink and perfect, a baby I'd probably never meet. "No," I told Aunt Wei, "I don't." She unfriended me after that. I'm writing this now, 2 years after my family tried to steal my house. I'm 34, still single. Still living in the same house they tried to take from me. I've renovated the master bathroom. Painted every room, replaced the furniture Nina damaged. Hung new pictures, ones I actually chose. My house is worth $385,000 now. The market went up. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I'd backed down, if I'd let Nina have the house. If I'd prioritized family peace over my own property rights. I'd be living somewhere smaller, somewhere I didn't choose. Somewhere I settled for because my family decided my sister's needs mattered more than mine. And they'd know they could do it again. Take whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted, because I wouldn't fight back. I don't regret calling the police. I don't regret the charges. I don't regret the restraining order. I regret that it was necessary. I regret that my parents valued a house more than their relationship with me. I regret that Nina thought she was entitled to my life's work. But I don't regret protecting myself. Last month, I got a message on LinkedIn. A woman named Andrea, mid-40s, requesting to connect. Her note said, "I read about your case in a legal blog. Something similar happened to me. Can we talk?" We met for coffee. Her story was eerily familiar. Parents who felt entitled to her condo. A brother who needed it more. Locks changed while she was on a business trip. "What did you do?" she asked. I called my lawyer and the police. Same day. "Did you press charges?" "Every single one I could." "Do you regret it?" I sipped my coffee. Thought about my house, my peace, my boundaries. Not even for a second. She pressed charges the next week. Called me after her family was arraigned. "Thank you," she said. "I didn't think I had the right to protect myself from family." "You always have that right," I told her. "Family doesn't mean free access to everything you own." My mother says I'm choosing money over love. You're choosing yourself over theft. "There's a difference," she cried a little. Then she thanked me again. I get messages like hers sometimes, people who find my story somewhere online, who are dealing with similar situations, who need permission to protect themselves from their own families. I tell them all the same thing: you're not wrong. You're not selfish. You're not choosing things over people. You're choosing to protect what you built, what you earned, what's legally and morally yours. And that's not just okay, it's necessary. Tonight, I'm sitting in my living room. My house is quiet, peaceful, mine. Outside, the motion sensor lights illuminate my front yard. The security cameras record everything, just in case. My family is out there somewhere, living their lives. Probably still telling stories about the daughter who chose a house over love. They're wrong. I didn't choose a house over love. I chose self-respect over exploitation. And I'd make the same choice every single time. The doorbell camera shows a delivery. Books I ordered. A new novel and a home improvement magazine. I answer the door to my house. Walk back inside my house. Lock the door to my house. My house. 2 words that mean everything. 2 words my family tried to take from me. 2 words that I fought for, defended, and kept. I curl up on my couch, the one I picked out, in the house I bought, in the life I built, and I smile. Not because I'm glad it happened, but because I'm proud of how I handled it when it did. And that, I've learned, is the only approval I need.